So the team over at JYP has been trying their hardest to spoil the storyline for Stray Kids cinematic universe, but honestly we are all pretty lost. I'll do my best to do it justice, but there are still many unanswered questions and apparently there is more to come. To put it basically, Stray Kids debuted with the album I Am Not. However, it's wise to assume the real story began pre-debut with the mixtape album, including the music video for Elevator. Stray Kids of course, had to prove their ability to debut through the creation of this album in their reality TV show. The lyrics included in the album were their real struggles. Their songs discuss topics such as the struggle of growing up and being lost. Following these real stories, the cinematic universe was adapted to portray these ideas in the form of unrealistic, fantasy-inspired imagery. Beginning from the mixtape album, the tracks are Elevator, Beware, Young Wings, Yeah. Glow, School Life, Fun 4419, Along with these very personal songs, music videos were released after. From what I assume, Stray Kids are a group of high school students. They refer to their lives together as District 9. In Elevator, we see the boys are upset that they have to leave behind their school life, including each other. Since graduating, they decide to hang out in their now abandoned school. Perhaps it is abandoned as a metaphor to show they graduated. Anyway, it is especially difficult for Han to grasp this new way of life, away from his friends. Therefore, he creates a fictional world to visit, where he can be united with his friends again and ignore his responsibilities. This alternate universe entertains the idea that choices can change the outcome of a person's life. Firstly, Han and his members are wearing dark clothing in a quote-unquote real world, whose colors reflect their unhappiness. However, when Han enters a portal aka the elevator to escape into a fictional universe, he meets a version of his members who are wearing bright colors. We are also shown an alternate reality that is much more positive. Notice the color grading is saturated and the boys are wearing bright colors. In this reality, Han is the one who could accept the changes to his life, however everyone else could not. Thus, he was left behind while his members got into the elevator. Because he is alone, he decides to burn his mementos of school life. In one scene, he throws a bottle of flames, and it turns into yellow flowers. I believe this is supposed to symbolize memories of the past that he is now letting go of. When Stray Kids debuted, we got their first official album, I Am Not, and as the name may suggest, the album is about realizing they are not what society has expected them to be. Say, a lawyer or doctor, they are rejecting their expectations because they want to go back to before they had adult responsibilities.
They say people are born different,
but why does it feel like we're the same?
Us, brainwashed into the same system, they expect perfection.
So how can we be different?
A sign, an omen, glitch.
The track list is as follows, not District 9, Mirror, Awaken, Rock, Grow Up, Third Eye, and Mixtape 1.
내가 가는 길이 맞다 틀리다 판단하기보다 내가 원하고 즐길 수 있는 길을 걸어가 날 위로해 난 날아가 저 위로해를 향해서
Anyhow, this first comeback gave us a long trailer with a lot of confusing layers. The concept is a non-literal metaphor, inferring the suffocation the boys feel from societal expectations, which is why they are in a correctional facility or asylum of sorts. There are many theories that Felix is especially important in the story because of his hair color in this period, but I think it's unlikely his hair had anything to do with it, nor Han's hair color. Multiple members have a role in the cinematic universe that I will explain later. The styling is dependent on the song atmosphere for the most part. Back to the trailer. Felix dances in front of a mirror as an act of rebellion from constraint and the anti-individualistic setting he's in. Likewise, it breaks to prove he rejects the reflection of himself in uniform. I'm not 100% certain what INC means, but I'll give my 2 cents. He sees a clone of himself to convey a loss of individual identity. This connotes the concept of multiple dimensions and versions of himself can exist, while simultaneously demonstrates the idealistic standards society pushes. In Sungmin's scene, he is painting an image of a figure trapped in wires. Although it's an abstract piece, the originality is depleted because the class was ordered to paint the exact same thing. Of course, the painting's subject matter hits close to home for Sungmin in his position. It's similar to a subconscious manipulation to engrave an idea that the painter themselves is submissive to order. Though there is no actual antagonist in the plot, to my belief, the antagonist is supposed to be society. Sungmin has taken a lot longer to paint the image considering no one else is in the room, and to add to his mischievous behavior, he puts a stroke through his painting to symbolize his rejection of its premise. In Han's scene, he is staring at a bright light on a pedestal surrounded by hooded people. From this I gather, it's not Han they're bowing to, it is the light itself. Why else would there be close-up shots of him squinting at its brightness, or the shadow it casts when it sets? I believe the light is a recurring concept that is constantly referenced in their music videos. To see the light, metaphorically, you are coming to a realization. Such could be an ultimate goal stray kids are trying to seek. Maybe they're trying to seek happiness or enlightenment. Let me ask, what is one of the sources of light? The sun. The sun is constantly panned to in their music videos. In fact, without the sun there would be no literal light or even life. Therefore, where would we be able to see where we are going? When Han made the decision to escape reality in the elevator, he blinded himself. He could never truly be happy because things could never go back to how they were. He distracted himself from accepting change. Therefore the light he saw broke into 2 moons. I'm not sure why sometimes they change color. Perhaps they represent different directions that can result in heaven or hell. 2 things symbolize the spineless nature of this fictional place: the storm and the glitch that begins to follow Stray Kids from the moment Han traveled in the elevator.
A glitch.
District 9. The music video is about the members escaping the confines of their previous expectations and breaking free in their new world. There's a mini storyline in the video, which I will briefly dissect. Chan finds a red flower, also referred to as the sign, growing in a hedge. He realizes it is growing because of the sunlight pouring through a crack in the sky. Upon this, he comes to the conclusion they can escape. He gathers his members by communicating through red slips of paper and they escape using a bus. The bus is a reference to their school life. The next chapter follows their second album in the I Am series, called I Am Who. The tracks are Who,
I lost my path to the answer.
My Pace,
비교 따윈 하지마 천천히 달려도 괜찮아 나의 길을 따라 my life
Question,
Inside my head too many questions
Insomnia,
I can't sleep
Mia,
대체 어딜 간 거야 너의 그 예쁜 미소 어쩌랬던 너라서 더 그리워져
Awkward Silence,
밝은 얼굴에 어두운 표정 짓지 마요
and Mixtape 2.
감아버리지 말라고 빛이 비춘 곳에 그림자가 서 있으니 저 하늘로 날려 fly One for the fame, one for the game
My Pace is an uplifting song about being comfortable with yourself and your personal pace in life. So in this album, they have accepted their inability to fulfill their expectations. However, since they are apparently not what society wants them to be, they are left with the question, who am I? Although My Pace is a celebration, there is still confusion surrounding the direction the boys are headed in. Next we have the album, I Am You. It contains the track list, You, I Am You,
그림자를 칠 수 있던 너
My Side, Hero Soup,
그대에게만 해서 아무것도 몰랐어요
Get Cool,
오늘 난 fly to the sky, fly to the sky
NS,
Stray kids on the block Why they got it, oh my gosh Plus and minus 골라봐
0325,
아무것도 없던 흙에 아름다운 꽃이 피어나
and Mixtape 3.
걱정하지 마 이때까지 달려온 길 그저 널 위한 과정이야 꽃도 있잖아 만개한 순간 아닌 과정 그게 더 아름다운 게
The album is the conclusion to the I Am series, although not the end of the storyline. Stray Kids realize they find closure in each other and can form their own identity with the benefit of each other. I Am You is the title track, and in its music video, there is a body of water. The reflection of the moon can be seen, implying he is aware that what they are seeing is not real, as the moon symbolizes their ignorance to reality. It should also be noted that in the teaser for this video, Hyunjin is on the floor. The lamps he was fixing are not over and he's covered in some kind of substance, possibly the wires from the I Am Not trailer, or it could be blood that is censored by the black and white filter. This could be showing an alternate reality where Hyunjin has died or been corrupted by his own paranoia, which I will explain later. Moving on to the next album and away from the I Am series, Miro is the next destination in their journey and the beginning of the Clay series. Clay means key in French FYI. Miro describes their surroundings as a jungle or maze. The word Miro itself is a combination of the Korean word for maze with an H on the end to represent heaven or hell, depending on where the jungle may lead. The track list is Entrance,
Où suis-je? Quelle est cette grande porte que je viens d'entrer?
Miro, Victory Song,
도저히 막 위로 fly high 누가 나를 막고 감히 날 저기로 막 살고 잡아먹는 anaconda 목표를 향해 질주해 난 더럽히가 비상
Maze of Memories,
I look forward into the sea, oblivious sea, I call history. Thunderous waves that rage, destroying the maze of memories I wanna see.
Boxer, Crinosaurus,
Like a tunnel with no light
19,
Pay attention, 나이가 몇인데도 됐어? 곧 있으면 나는 청소년이란 명태를 떼고
and Mixtape 4.
자신의 나침 반에 바늘이 마구 돌아갈 때 억지로든 날이든 간에 다른 이의 방향감에 따라가는 남들이 다 따라갈 때 나랑 갈래 땀 따라라 한다 해도 나의 나침반이
밑에 떠있는 나저 별과 달이 보여주려 나
The music video for Chronosaurus is about the fear of time running out for the members. The name compares time to dinosaur and shows how the boys feel they are getting older without achieving anything. It should also be noted that finds a set of keys in this music video. 19 follows a similar concept. It's about maturation into a person's 20s. In the music video, there are items of memorabilia from their school days on display. Black balloons that were once yellow symbolizes their feelings of sorrow. After Miro comes Clue 2, Yellow Wood. The album references a poem by Robert Frost called Road Not Taken. It relates to the recurring idea that multiple universes exist where stray kids have taken different directions in their journey. The track list is Road Not Taken. Side effects. DMT. And the pre-release CD-only mixtapes from 1 to 4. In the trailer for Yellow Wood, we see the members in an elevator again, which we can associate to be a portal. They pass places they previously visited and Hyunjin gives an unimpressed expression. The camera heavily implies that IN knows something that the other members do not. Eventually, Chan uses a key from his pocket and the elevator goes down to a floor called Yellow Wood. There is some foreshadowing that the destination will have some negative consequences by the intense glitching effects and the unsteadiness of the elevator. In a teaser, the video further hints IN knows something, perhaps involving the symbolism of the color yellow. Previously the color yellow has appeared to represent positivity and unity. It's possible this destination is so heavily saturated in the color yellow, despite the juxtaposition of problematic editing because the fictional universe is trying to distract stray kids from reality. Pretending that everything is fine, despite some characters becoming increasingly suspicious about what they are seeing. In Yellow Wood, the boys are apparently headed to a place called the New World. This destination is what stray kids believe to be the answer to all their problems. The mode of transport is a bus, once again imposing the idea that they're being purposefully appealed to. We see two alternatives to this reality, where stray kids A. get on the bus or B. travel on foot. The music video for Side Effects follows the reality where they are on foot, which we eventually see, ends in a blocked road. Hyunjin, who has been increasingly frustrated by this decision to not catch the bus, has an outburst at Sungmin, triggered by him taking a photograph of the blocked road. Sungmin has been documenting their journey with photographs, and there's also reason to believe he was the one who led them to the blockade. After all, he was the one with the map. Hyunjin's persona is growing impatient with the lack of progress they are making. He's becoming skeptical of the world he's in. Felix's persona at this point has been consistently shot, disconnected from the other members in music videos. His scenes are edited with high fixations of glitching and breaking of the fourth wall as he stares at the camera and is not interested in the storylines of music videos. To continue the MV, it's obvious this destination in their journey is a mistake, insinuated by the storm and glitching that accentuates, and the lyrics describing the draining side effects of doubt. Side Effects ends with Hyunjin lying in a field with his eyes covered. He's then comforted by the rest of stray kids, who are strangely calm despite the chaos of previous scenes. The film ends showing the keys from Chronosaurus are now lost. This could mean Stray Kids have lost their sense of direction, or Hyunjin has decided to ignore any other possible directions. He has decided to blindly accept wherever they are headed. The final chapter in the weekly series is Levantier. It's almost an anagram for elevator. The tracks are Stop, Double Knot,
Now it doesn't matter cause I'm following the market compass and the ball.
Levantier,
This is the end of the road, 'cause it's the darkest it won't be for the dawn. I wanna be myself, I don't care, yeah, I gotta be myself, just don't care. And now that your weights come off my shoulders, I realize that I can fly. I needed to find me, now I know the key is inside of you.
Booster, Astronaut,
Like an astronaut.
Sunshine,
햇빛 끈을 아래 앉아 손을 감고 잠깐 너를 봐봐.
You Can Stay,
널 만나기 전 하늘이 이렇게 맑은지 몰랐어.
and Mixtape 5.
내가 가는 길을 새로 만들어가.
Double Knot was first released as a single, and the music video doesn't exactly fit into the timeline. I believe it depicts an alternate reality, before I Am You. Hyunjin finds the key which we've seen be used to enter Miro and Yellowwood. This group of stray kids is still trying to get as close to enlightenment as possible, and they believe the path to their goal is through a beige door. Following this, the MV for Astronaut was released, and as the name might suggest, they're trying to get as close to the sun as possible. It's apparent this group has not progressed past I Am You yet. Hyunjin investigates a small orb, supposedly representing a mini-universe. Here's one I found on Google Images for comparison. He continues to find references to different locations and realities versions of themselves have visited. This includes clones of 4 specific members, all identical to the ones he knows besides IN, who is wearing brown. As Hyunjin continues, he realizes how catastrophic the storm has become, and of course he feels upset that his life is a lie. Eventually he meets Chan, protecting the beige door and talking to the clone of IN, seen in a different reality that has passed Miro. The stray kids in Miro were being studied by a different IN than the one in major scenes. It's possible the drones and CCTV cameras that are constantly following them are another version of themselves. Maybe they are watching to see exactly what the outcome would have been, so that they could deduct which roads do not lead to enlightenment. Things start to get even more complicated, because we see this exact reality with different outcomes. In the first, all members besides IN are teleported somewhere. Secondly, there's a reality where IN is replaced with the clone, wearing brown. They all go through the door which leads to a white setting. I think this is what they think is closest to the sun. They shoot a weird beam of light into the sky and then celebrate. Levantier is the most satisfying conclusion to the cinematic universe, where stray kids have decided to destroy everything they have created upon the realization it has strayed them further from happiness and was just a distraction from reality. The true light they find is the ability to accept change. Multiple timelines are shown which end in positive outcomes, yet appear to affect one another. In the trailer, Sungmin enters an elevator and attempts to pull an enlightened Han out of a dimension, however he is interrupted by the Han from his own world. Chan also appears in the elevator and uses a key, turning it towards a triangle. The elevator then falls. We also notice IN and Changbin are in the My Pace tunnel, which begins to retract existence due to stray kids breaking the world. Felix has been consistently associated with a compass because he is the personification of one. The reason the compass points towards the door of Levantier is because stray kids have finally found their path. Felix also dances on top of a mirror as an empowering reference to his past self. He's no longer looking into it, trying to find himself because he is confident. There is also another version of Stray Kids displayed, who destroy the world. New symbolic items are introduced to this period, such as a small jar of what I suppose is stars. After this group enters Levantier, the stars are released and they begin to fall. This represents their fears of failure is no longer an issue for the boys and they just want to be free. Both timelines end with the boys graduating back into reality. Notice the colors are no longer fantasy inspired and finally, the two moons become the sun. Since the finale of this series, the music video for Top was released. So briefly, this is a universe that did not end in the comfortability of Levantier. Rather, the members took the memos from astronaut to the next level, and literally tried to reach the light in space. However, Hyunjin's character is still unhappy, so his insecurity is the reason for their death.